Why do 85% of real estate agents get out of the business in less than 3 years? Well, the main factor is that these agents don't realize that they own their own business. So my coach, Coach John Kitchens, has put together a free clarity report for us. This is whether you want to earn 100,000 this year or a million. This report will give you the clarity you need to thrive in your business and not be a statistic. Go to coachcodeclarity.com for your free clarity report outlining what your success looks like. All right. I am here with my favorite people, Monica Weakley and TJ Gausman. Hey, gang.
What's up? I feel so honored. I sort of crashed this little party here.
You did. This is usually TJ's soapbox time.
Yes.
But I think this works out perfectly because we were all at a company that had profit share, and now we're at a brokerage that provides revenue share. And literally every time I get this question of well, it's the same thing, right? Wrong.
Not the same thing. It's not.
How do you answer that question, Monica? Or what do you give us? Tell us what it is. I don't know.
It's the difference between a faucet and a fire hose.
Oh, that's great.
No, it actually is mathematically different. So profit share and revenue share are great, both great offerings that allow agents to have an additional source of income. Another way to make money in the real estate
while still
industry.
Doing their job. So if you're at a company that doesn't provide either, that probably is your.
Yeah, that's a little bit. Yeah, that's a question mark right now, especially when you have that opportunity with other brokerages. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's basically a way that the company rewards the agent for helping the company grow. And there are just two ways to reward the agent. It's a very nice gesture on both parts, but how you're going to do that is going to make a difference. So profit share, basically, the company brings in all the revenue from the month, mm-hmm. pays out all the expenses, and of course is left with profit. Then there is a formula that is then shared back to those agents that attracted agents to the company that sold houses that month. So if your agent that you attracted to the company was a participant in that month's revenue, you then get a small piece of the profit that's left over after that market center or that office pays their expenses. Awesome, right? Unless there's not much profit, unless there was no profit that month because they were.
And how many brokerages have you been at where you actually controlled the expenses of that brokerage?
None. You're not controlling any
TJ?
Part of that.
No, never.
Never. Exactly.
So along comes EXP and Glenn Sanford, who came out of the Keller Williams model, who has this profit share. And he says, I like the idea. I want to make it better. I want to make it something we can control. The agent can control in some way or have influence on at least. And it shouldn't be based on anything EXP is doing. It should be based strictly on whether or not that agent is having success selling houses, period. Mm-hmm. So they took the entire profit piece out, and all our incentive is top line revenue. Mm-hmm. So Jen, when you sell a house, mm-hmm. EXP takes their share of it, mm-hmm. gives you 80% of it, mm-hmm. and EXP shares their revenue with me because I am the reason you're here at EXP.
It's true. Thank you. You should have been a little more aggressive.
I was. Do you remember the message I sent to you? We'll talk about that another day. I was aggressive. You were traveling the world at the time and didn't see how that was going to work. But here you are.
Here I am. TJ, what are your thoughts on profit share versus revenue share?
Yeah, I mean, I used to get really frustrated when I would see, big lunches and these big events and galas, and because all of that, frankly, is taking money out of the agent's pockets. Mm-hmm. And my experience was on big profit months, they would spend more money because, that's just human nature. So the cool thing at EXP, I get money no matter what. And guess what? we're lean. We don't waste money anyway. But the key is it's based on production. So the other benefit of that is like we want to attract agents that produce.
Right.
And what that does is it allows us to surround ourselves with cream of the crop agents, agents that are selling homes. And that's why if you look at like the top producers in our company, they're killers. I mean, and that's very attractive to me. And Monica hit it on the head. It's about control. I don't want to be tied to a model where I have no control over the expenses, which are directly linked to my income.
Right.
That is very flawed. I mean, that is very flawed. And
well, that puts you against the brokerage too, doesn't it? Like in a way, you're positioned against your business partner.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And you know, I mean, say what you want. I know people will say this, that, or the other. They can't argue that our model is very fair.
Right.
It is extremely fair. It treats everyone the same. There's not a bad thing with our model that I found. And I say that with conviction. It makes a ton of sense.
But I also think too, like other than the difference between revenue being just a much larger number and a much more controllable income than profit, you also have like a return on investment, right? So as a real estate agent, I do real estate agent activities. One of those activities is if I like where I am and somebody's looking to change, I'll be like, hey, come with us. Like, I'd love to work with you more, whatever. Like, I'm just like naturally going to be doing that. It's like, if you have a good restaurant, how many people do you tell? You freaking tell everyone. Right. And so it's like, if I'm naturally doing that, I would like to get paid. And if I'm going to get paid, I want to get paid the most. You know?
That's right.
So it's just like, yeah. And I like how it's just like,
you know, what's the confusing thing about, go ahead, Jen.
No, go ahead.
I think that where this gets confusing or feels weird is that with anything, there are people that are doing it in a way that's kind of icky.
That's right? Everything.
That's everything. That was at KW. That was at Huff. That was like, you know, that this is an industry of recruiting. That's what it is. It's attracting agents. Every single brokerage is focused on one thing, and that's recruiting.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Like, it's just not a secret. And I hate that some people are making it feel a little icky. Here's the truth. I believe this company, like TJ said, is the single best, fairest place for an agent to come sell houses. That's it. And 88% of our brokerage has never once attracted an agent. They're not.
Oh, I thought it was even more than that.
It's 96% of all agents have have 3 people or less that they've ever brought to the company.
Right.
So far majority of people here just to sell houses because it's incredibly fair, a place to keep more money, get better training, technology makes your life easier, all those things. But I'm ranting and I get really, I know. The reason I want to talk to agents about this is because I freaking believe this is the best place for them.
Yes.
Like, and when you believe that, it's not a job. I'm not recruiting. I'm sharing this story with people because I genuinely want you to see it.
Right.
That's it.
I think that every single person I've talked to that's come has said, shit, I wish I would have come sooner.
Yeah, everyone.
But yes. And just back to the point, I mean, just revenue is a bigger number than profit. So if you're not at a company that gives you either, definitely consider moving. And if you're at a company that gives you profit, just learn about what revenue is. Because I still get profit share checks from KW, but it's like nothing compared. Yeah. It's not even close.
Not even in the same.
It's a joke. I mean, I'll take the money,
$11,
but it's a joke, you know?
TJ, do you feel like the revenue share model is important to the camaraderie and partnership that exists here in the company?
Yeah. I think that it helps. It connects us as agents, right? And culture is such a big piece of this puzzle. When we talk about real estate agents on an island, that's not my experience here. I have much tighter and stronger bonds here than I've had anywhere else. the other piece of this that I think needs to be said is it's important to learn about it, because there is so much misinformation. I remember before I came here, I was told that you were paid in stock. You get paid your revenue share in stock, which is not true. You get real money. It's immediate money.
Right.
There's so much misinformation that in my experience and opinion, as an agent, even if you're just curious, you owe it to yourself to at least learn the truth. You might say, hey, TJ, that's awesome that you love it. It's not for me. And that's okay. Cool. It's
totally
fine.
Cool.
But let me tell you, I wish I would have taken the time to learn the truth and not just believed the BS. There's so much BS going on.
But that's about every brokerage, really, right? Like,
I think we get it worse.
We get a lot.
I believe that.
That's what fear does, right? And I don't
love
know.
it.
Got it.
It is. And some of this misinformation may be unintentional because they themselves are uninformed. Some of it may be intentional. We don't know. We will never know. But I am amazed at the misinformation that's out there. Truly mind-boggling.
But I think to TJ's point too, it's like we as agents, we are naturally helpful people. I think like most of us are, right? And so we want to help people, but there is a point where you feel like you've maybe subconsciously like, okay, I'm done helping you now, right? But like if we're financially tied, that point is much like you can
way further out.
It's way further out because, and not to say like, I mean, we are salespeople, so we are money motivated, and that's just like another piece. And I'll add that even though a lot of companies in the States are international, they're not international in the same way. So at EXP, like we literally have a revenue share group partner in Portugal. Like we literally make revenue share off of people when they sell in Portugal. And the same thing will be in Colombia, and the same thing will be in Panama. And like, that's freaking awesome, man. So now I can expense my trips.
Yeah. I like it. Oh man. I am glad you guys are talking about this because it's a big, it's a big opportunity, but it's also an area where there's so much confusion, and most of the confusion lies in people thinking, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not recruiting. And Jen, you said the perfect thing is if you have ever gotten excited about a restaurant and thought about how many people you told about that restaurant,
right?
You are too a recruiter.
You are.
You just didn't get paid for it.
Right. Boo on
You're
you.
Enthusiastic about something and you want to tell your friends about it. You get a new product, a hair product that's really working, or I don't know, whatever. You know, cologne that makes you feel good inside, TJ, you know, you want to tell your boys about it, right?
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, if people have more questions, TJ, what is the best way to get a hold of you?
513-379-2000, call or text.
Awesome. Monica, I appreciate you. Yes, ask him. Thank you for jumping in on this. Thanks for crashing our party.
Thanks for inviting me. You probably won't invite me back because I talk.
You're always invited.
All right.
Always.
All right. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
What we need right now is a source for great leads, and I found it. It is called Pipeline Pro Tools. So about 90 days ago, I booked a demo with them. And in that demo, we reverse engineered my business. We figured out how many leads we needed to get in order to get to the closings that we want. And they gave me a playbook to use in order to get that. So I've been using it for 90 days. We've gotten 12 qualified leads, and about half of them are already under contract or closed, which is great. And it is right now my #1 source for my best leads that I'm getting. I love this thing. I'm about to ramp up the number of leads that I get with them as well. So, and you might think it's expensive, and it's not. So I was looking for something that's very inexpensive, like affordable to everyone, but also generated great leads. We don't want crap leads. So what you do in order to get this, because I called them and I wanted to partner with them because I was like, this is exactly what our audience has been looking for. So they set up something specific just for us, just for Fight Club listeners. So you would go to pipelineprotools.com/Fight Club. And then you go to the demo, and the demo will show you how many leads you need in order to get
the number of closings that you want to get. And then they will give you the playbook that I'm using, my number one playbook for getting leads. And then you can use it too, and we can have happy closings. So go to pipelineprotools.com/Fight Club, book and go to the demo and get all the leads.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a podcast.